God has given us 120 years to be in this world. The question would be, do you want to live long, and how are you going to do that?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, viewer. Good morning, lovers. It's a pleasure for us to be with you again this morning for this new edition of Health and Food on Rehoboth Gospel TV, produced today by Marius Media Production. It's an honor and a privilege to receive our wonderful guest, Dr. Yunmbam, life scientist, naturopathic doctor, and very knowledgeable on this topic. I hope you guys have enjoyed the previous edition last Saturday. If not, go back to our YouTube channel and Facebook page to review, ask questions, learn, share, like, subscribe so that you will not miss our future edition. Today's topic is how food has medicine healing through nutrition. With Dr. Yunmbam, we are going to discover how the right food can transform our health, prevent disease, and help us live longer, and all this naturally. Good morning, Dr. Yunmbam, and welcome.
Thank you, Marius. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. We thank you again for your time, for everything you are pouring on to us, for always being available for us.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. As introduced, our topic today is about food as medicine, how for food can serve as treatment. Let's start with our first question. Can you explain this concept of food as medicine and how is it powerful?
Yes, indeed. Food is the best medicine because it is consumed naturally in its natural form, and it does not have side effects like the conventional drugs. You know, the conventional drugs, when you take them, they have lots of side effects and they cause damage. But food, when you eat food, you do not have any kind of problems.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you do not have problems eating food.
Mm-hmm.
So when you, the other problem with the conventional drugs is that it's been processed.
Mm-hmm.
They have chemicals, okay, chemicals that stabilize the drug, the conventional.
Mm-hmm.
With the food, there is no chemical that man has used to process it.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that man does in processing food is just to harvest it and then eat it right away, like the animals do, or they have to cook it.
Mm-hmm.
They cook, sometimes they overcook, and that actually depletes some of the enzymes that is supposed to digest the food.
Mm-hmm.
So then we don't get the benefits. But when you consume it in a natural form, with all the enzymes, then the food is well digested and the nutrients that is contained in the food is absorbed. But if you process it, then the food is deficient of the enzymes and deficient of the nutrients that is supposed to nourish the body. So the data generated from studying food like medicine shows that food can influence our health in specific and beneficial ways. But treatments alone cannot sustain our health. Cannot sustain our health. So then how then can we prevent disease? Or how then can we cure or maintain our health?
You know, so far,
The best answer is food is the answer as medicine, because every doctor knows that poor diet is linked to preventable disease, and that food is becoming a topic of great importance, and so that so the medical community is aware of that.
but
And because food is also easily accessible. Okay, it's easily accessible, and the dietary dietary interventions do not it's not as expensive as a drug. Okay, and like the pharmaceutical drugs that use in treating disease. That's why food is easy to use. It's easier to get. So that is it. Okay.
Yes. So far, people have relied on pharmaceutical drug as a treatment. And what can be the process to shift people mindset from treating symptom to treating symptom with medicine to preventing illnesses just through nutrition?
Well, yes, people have relied on pharmaceutical drugs because that is the pharmaceutical industry is actually promoting that to sell their products. Okay. But if you look at that, how our people lived, they lived just on food. They never used pharmaceutical drugs. The explosion of industrialization that has caused all these things because population growth, and they are also mass producing those drugs, even producing food. Food is also becoming poisonous, as we will discuss later, because they are actually using chemicals to stabilize the food so that it shouldn't rot. So the issue is that the pharmaceutical products are not helping us to maintain good health. It is instant damage. So what we have found out is that food is better, especially because even the pharmaceutical drugs are produced from those plant-based products because they have the biomolecules in the plants, and so they use the scientists in the pharmaceutical industry use those biomolecules to synthesize it to mass produce the drugs so that it can supply many people. So then the thing is that what we have now known is that the same biomolecules that are found in the pharmaceutical drugs is found in food. So when you cook the food in a particular quantity, that's what we're trying to do. That we'll need to eat how much of the food can we eat and how often can we eat the food so that it maintain our organs and tissues so that it will function optimally. Okay, so food has everything that they need, and it is cheaper. Those pharmaceutical drugs are very expensive. So, there are cancer drugs that are in the thousands, actually in the hundreds of thousands of dollars that we cannot afford. But food with even $2 or $3, and then you can eat. But it takes a variety, okay, to eat a variety of food that will support the systems that run our body. Okay, the last time I talked about the systems are angiogenesis, which is circulatory system, then regeneration, which is supposed to rebuild any damaged tissue, and then microbiome, which is supposed to support the digestive system, and then also the DNA, and then also the immunity. So those factors have to be maintained, and they have to be maintained by eating the right type of food. Okay, so you cannot only eat one type of food that will support all the systems. So that's what the food does, especially if we eat a variety and if we eat the right quantity and also the right time. So that it's effective more than the drugs that we take that causes a lot of side effects and also damages, cause more sickness to us.
Yeah, talking about varieties of food, what are the most harmful food that we commonly eat every day that contribute to our disease?
Well, the food that contribute to our disease are the processed food, ultra-processed food. That means we go and harvest food from the farm, then it is being processed. So when you bring the food from the farm, especially when you, as soon as you harvest the food, whether it is from the ground or cut it from the tree as the fruit, the enzymes that are contained in those fresh foods are degraded.
Okay.
Immediately. And then sometimes they harvest the food and it's on the truck. or left on in a cold place for weeks or even months. So by the time they bring it to the store, most of the enzymes are depleted. And then when you go down to buy from the grocery stores, by the time you bring it to the kitchen and start cooking it, the enzymes are completely gone because you have used now heat to destroy the enzyme that is supposed to digest food in our system. So that's what it means, that the body is not being nourished. The nutrients that is contained in the food is completely destroyed, and we're eating just empty dirt or food, not nourish the body. And that's why, since the systems are not being maintained by the food that we're eating, the systems suffer from maintaining the body system. Okay, so like the circulatory system is supposed to carry the nutrients and the oxygen and everything else. It does not contain the minerals and the vitamins that is supposed to enhance building of our body, like muscles, the tissues that is found in the muscles or the cells. So the actual action takes place at the cellular level. Okay, so when those molecules don't get to the cell can produce whatever gets there, and whatever gets there is not supporting the organs that is supposed to function in our body to maintain optimal health.
Yeah,
and that causes this. Okay?
You just mentioned nutrient earlier. Just reminded me last time we were talking about how we digest food. Just you were explaining to me that just the way we eat, the time we digest, how we chew, how actually has a great impact in how we nourish our body. Just this question, can you break down to us how just digestion plays a role in nutrition absorption in the body, and how does it impact our health overall?
Absolutely. Well, the way we eat is very important. When you eat food, you're supposed to chew the food very well in your mouth, that it will pre-digest the food in the mouth, and that will also expose the enzymes that is in the food, so that by the time it gets into the stomach, the stomach enzymes, which is produced by the pancreas, will now break down the food further to expose those nutrients like the vitamins and the minerals, so that it will be absorbed into the bloodstream. But if we don't chew the food, we're not going to get those nutrients. And of course, the enzymes is very important, because the enzymes is responsible for breaking down the food that you eat down into the vitamins and minerals. Okay, it breaks down to those molecules for the nutrients to come out. And of course, what are enzymes? They are proteins that make life sustainable. Okay, they cause reaction. Okay, the enzymes keep the complex working system in the body to function, so that when enzymes are not there, those systems cannot work. Just like you have to have gasoline in your car for the car to crank. So that there's no gasoline in the car, how are you going to crank the car? The car will not run because there's no gasoline. Okay, so the enzymes act like the gasoline in the car, and so the enzymes are very important. So, and of course, when you reach a certain age, like age 40, it's almost gone. See, when you are young, you still have those stomach enzymes, especially stomach acid. The stomach acid now activates the pancreatic enzymes to function, to be secreted, so that it will enhance digestion. Okay, so and if we're not eating the right food, we're not chewing the food properly, and so that there's no proper digestion. The enzymes are not exposed for the digestion to take place. And so we just gobble down our food, and then we think that we're full, or with that we are satisfied that we are nourishing our body, but we are not actually nourishing the body enough, because the enzymes that are supposed to degrade the food or break down the food to expose those minerals and vitamins, so that so that it could be absorbed into the bloodstream to function the mitochondria. It's not going through that process, and that's why you have deficiencies. Okay, deficiencies in the minerals and also the nutrients that are supposed to build muscles and bones and to produce red blood cells. Okay, that is supposed to carry the oxygen and for maintenance of the antigenic process. Okay, and also to maintain the microbiome in your.
Talking about the way we eat, that influence positively or negatively the way our body absorbs the nutrient from the food, and what can be the issue that will prevent that appropriate absorption of nutrient, and what can we do to improve that?
Well, to improve that is that's why we're here to bring to our people that they need to change the way they eat. They need to change the way they process the food. They even need to change the way they cultivate the food. Yeah, how to cultivate food is also important, because when you use all these fertilizers, the fertilizers are artificial; they are not natural. The natural way is that the bacteria and the fungi in nature is supposed to decompose the natural vegetation, and then when it gets into the soil, they have bacteria, they have worms that is supposed to break down those plants particles for them to expose the nutrients, so that the crops that we plant will absorb the food, so that grow naturally. But when we instead use fertilizer, the fertilizer is artificial. The plants absorb it, but it is not natural. And when it is not natural, you harvest the food now. That's why so many people have food allergies, because the body recognizes it as foreign and they react against it. So it is only from planting, how you cultivate the food. And then when you when you harvest it, then processing the food is another thing that depletes the nutrient, deplete the enzymes. And then we get nothing from food that we're eating. So then even the processed food, we chew them too fast, so that it's not pre-digested at all. And because it's devoid of the enzymes that is supposed to break down the food, so that is where we have the problem. Deficiency causes disease and also toxicity, because when things are deficient and the food is not being broken down properly for absorption, then it causes toxicity in the body, and those toxins now become harmful to the body. And of course, it actually activates inflammatory agents. The inflammatory agents now cause chronic disease like diabetes, like cancer, like Alzheimer's disease, like arthritis. Okay, so those are the things that that cause disease. And so what our people can do is to change their habit of how they process food, how they grow food, and how they chew the food. So they should get natural food, process it less, eat mostly raw, because the raw food contains the enzymes. Okay, just like the animals. The animals eat the food, eat the grass that contains 100% enzyme.
They don't cook like us.
Animals that have chronic diseases, okay, that have diabetes or cancer or arthritis or so, and also to do exercise, because when you eat, you have to exercise so that the food will metabolize, so that the food can be distributed to the cells, so that it will build tissues, it will maintain the microbiome, the DNA, and your immune system. Because our body gets so weak because nature has given us a defense mechanism. And because we are not eating the right kinds of food, the immune system is not maintained to have ammunition to fight infection or to fight disease. So our immune system becomes so weak because of the deficiency of those minerals and vitamins. That's why we are sick because of all these things. But if we maintain to eat the right food, the right texture, that means raw or steamed, then we get the necessary enzymes that we need to get the nutrients from the food that we're eating. Okay, so that is how our people should do things, so that they should not be sick, and they should also live long, because longevity depends on the type of nutrients that gets into our system. It is that what you are is what you eat is what you are. So if you are eating the bad food, then you get disease. If you are eating the right food, you are healthy and you can live longer.
Can you give, doctor? Can you give us an example of anti-inflammatory and healing food that we can staple in our daily diet?
Yes, of course, there are real spices in our kitchen that can help us, that we eat on a daily basis. But sometimes we don't utilize those spices in our kitchen. And what are they? Things like ginger, garlic, turmeric. They have anti-inflammatory agents that can reduce inflammation. Okay, I mean, a variety of those kinds of spices, even gloves. Okay, gloves is spicy. Gloves are also anti-inflammatory. Okay, they are fruits and vegetables, and those fruits and vegetables contain the enzymes. Fruits like papaya contains papain that digest gluten. Pineapples contain bromelain that also digest protein. They are enzymes. We can also have digestive enzymes in capsules, like the amylase, the lipase, the cellulase, that will digest the food. Having all of these food, mostly like the green leafy vegetables, contain most of the enzymes and the fruit. So when we're consuming food like broccoli and cabbage, spinach, and fruits like lemon or lime, cucumbers, and watermelon, a variety of it, even eggplant, they contain valuable even coffee. Coffee is also has this chlorogenic acid that is protective. Okay, so there are varieties of food that we need to eat. So when we eat a variety, not consuming too much carbohydrate, we limit our carbohydrate intake. That will help to maintain our organ, the vital system that is supposed to run the body. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Things like kiwi, pear, avocado, those are the food that we should be consuming on a regular basis, and not consume mostly the processed food like pasta and bread, cookies and cakes. Anything that is processed, even rice. Do you know that rice is good? But the thing is that the other thing that it has is arsenic. Arsenic is a heavy metal and is toxic. So that arsenic is found in water. Okay, what is found in the rice is found in even chicken, because the chicken, they feed them with feed that has arsenic in it. So if even like diabetes, arsenic, it contributes heavily to diabetes, because it actually it actually blocks the insulin receptors. So that when it the insulin receptors, then diabetes arises from that because you are eating a lot of rice that has arsenic in it. You are drinking water that has arsenic in it, and you are eating chicken that they have been fed with feed that contains arsenic in it. They tell you that, well, those chemicals are low in toxicity, or that they will not harm. But it has what is called bioaccumulation. It accumulate over time. And that's how it causes the damage. So how do we do to get rid of this? Is to sometimes boil the water, and as we know that it has the arsenic or this toxin, you have to find a way to remove it from the water by doing filtration, by osmosis, or to boil the water, also to make sure that what we're eating doesn't have the toxins in it, and to drink a lot of water to remove these things as well. Okay, and exercise helps to you sweat it out, and eat vegetables so that with high fiber, this will also remove the toxins in our body. Okay, when we eat, we are just we just sit there, and we're gaining weight, and because we're not getting circulation, we're not burning the calories that we're consuming. It's being converted into fat, and the fat too causes inflammation. The fat molecules cause inflammation. So because it generates new blood vessels, okay, the new blood vessels now cause cancer, because the cancer, because you are feeding body with a lot of carbohydrate. The carbohydrate is converted into sugar because the pancreas is overburdened with a lot of the food that we eat, especially the carbohydrate. And then because it causes insulin resistance, so the insulin is not longer being secreted because the receptors are being blocked by those toxins, by those overeating of the carbohydrates. So the pancreas is overburdened, and that's why also when you're chewing the food, that it digest the food prior to for it getting into your stomach. So it's a combination of all kinds of lack of what we're supposed to do for us to get the right nutrients from the food and the type of food that we eat. Okay.
I see that the more we talk about this, the more we realize how much we need to talk about it, how much we need to learn. And I'm so grateful that this is an ongoing process. So I'm just trying to pick up some few questions to enlighten our mind as you go. So there's this saying that people usually says, 1 apple a day keep the doctors away. I hear that a lot. What does it mean? Why is that? How is that possible?
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so I was asking about this saying, if you can explain us this saying that people usually say 1 apple a day keep the doctors away. How is that? What's hidden behind the apple?
Apple is supposed to be having the fiber, has the enzymes, has the nutrients that will digest properly and should be absorbed. The nutrients will be absorbed properly. So that's why I said fresh vegetables and fruits are especially the organic ones, because the ones that are inorganic, full of chemicals, instead would cause, although not as bad as the processed food. So 1 apple away really means that you're going to feed the body with the necessary fibers and the necessary enzymes that will break down food to the small molecules that the body would absorb easily. So yes, and it's not only just the apple, but it's a whole list of fruits
Can you give us can you give us 5?
Well, the apple, the pear is very good one examples. Then you have avocado, you have papaya, you have pineapples, you have guava. Guava is very good. I even though I also said eggplant, you have grapefruit, you have strawberries, you have blueberries, you have lemon or lime. Those are fruit. You have even watermelon, cucumbers, pumpkin. You have cantaloupe. You have a whole long list of fruits and vegetables. And the vegetables are broccoli, cabbage, spinach, kale. I mean, a whole long list of that. Okay, so I mean, you all know the type of vegetable that any green leafy vegetables is very important. It has all the necessary. It's high in fiber, and being fresh, meaning that right from the ground or from the tree, has the enzymes, the necessary that would digest the food. Okay, we break down the food to the smallest molecules that the body can absorb easily. So, and a long list of food, fruit and vegetables that we should be consuming on a daily basis, because we consume too much carbohydrate, consume too much processed food. The processed food is what is causing us illness and also shortening our life. We're getting old too fast and dying too early. Okay, so that's the processed food.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about I will call it the famous, because we hear that very often, disease, diabetes and cancer. Let's just speak a little bit about it. Is there any food or dietary habits that are effective in preventing and managing diabetes?
Yes. The food that can prevent diabetes and to manage it are the fruit and vegetables. Okay, there's nothing else.
Fruit and vegetable
are very important. Okay, because in other words, diabetes is as a result of too much consumption of carbohydrates. Okay, when we talk about sugar is not just necessarily the sugar itself. It is the carbohydrate comes from grain, bread, potatoes, all the, for example, like the rice. The rice is high carbohydrate because it's been processed and the peels are being removed, and so you are consuming empty rice that has no more fiber, and then you are eating it so fast so that the rice has carbohydrate. So you're supposed to chew the rice very well in the mouth, because the enzyme that breaks down carbohydrate is in the mouth, which is called amylase. So when you chew the rice, you are pre-digesting the food right in the mouth, so that by the time it gets into your stomach, then you have the stomach acid that will activate the digestive enzymes that is to further break it down to get the nutrients from it. And what are some of the nutrients? The fiber. So the rice does no longer have any fiber because it's removed. Then you have the minerals, vitamins, so that the gut can absorb those minerals to get into your bloodstream. So then, but of course, when we are eating them empty like that, you overburden the body with the carbohydrate. Then the body now converts the carbohydrate into fat, and the fat stores it. Then it causes inflammatory agents, and the inflammatory agents cause the disease, like the diabetes, like the cancer, like the Alzheimer's disease, like the arthritis. So that is how consuming too much carbohydrate is a bad. It's not very healthy, but cutting it back will be the best thing. To limit it, I'm not saying don't consume it. You consume it, yes, but eat with vegetables. and then eat also fruits and drink water and do exercise. That will maintain your system.
Yeah,
Okay?
this is common when someone is thirsty. Instead of a bottle of water, he will take a cup, he will take a juice. Which one will be more efficient? Drinking water than drinking juice when you are thirsty?
Well, the best thing is to drink water, okay? And the water is a natural liquid that is universal, okay? Juice or soda is packed with sugar.
Okay.
So I mean, some of the soda has almost 45 grams of carbohydrates. The juice too, some of it has almost 20, 30 grams of carbohydrates. So, but then water, I would say that how to eat the food in reality is to drink water first. And more so warm water, because if you're drinking warm water, the warm water now actually makes your blood vessels to expand, and it comes to the surface so that they will produce the enzymes. It's just like hot water will be like you are giving insulin to a diabetic. They give insulin 15 minutes before you eat the food, because that time the insulin is now ready to open up the cells to let the sugar go into the mitochondrion for metabolism. So when you drink water, water is going to activate digestive enzymes ready for the food to be to digest the food as soon as when you chew the food properly. So water is very important. The issue with juice and soda is that it contains so much toxins. Okay, it will not activate digestive enzymes similar to what the water does. And the best way to even enhance your digestion will be that you drink the water 30 minutes before you eat. And then when you are eating, you drink very little or drink no water at all. And then you wait 5 minutes and drink either tea, hot water, or tea, especially more green tea, or coffee. It will enhance your digestion, okay? Because it opens up the blood vessels. But if you are drinking cold water instead constricts the blood vessels. And that means the blood vessel is shut down, is not bringing up to the surface to carry the food away from their stomach. You see, so cold water instead does that. So it's better to drink warm water that will open up the blood vessels so that the food that you are eating will be absorbed and it will be carried to the cells, so that it will conduct building disease and all of that. Okay.
What about the cancer? Any food that have been proven to be helpful to fight cancer naturally?
Well, yes. The thing is that all I said, any chronic disease is caused by the food we eat, and that are harmful. So, but if we are eating the right food, you will not even have cancer or diabetes or any kind of chronic disease. You are maintaining your angiogenic processes or the system called angiogenesis, which is circulatory system. You are maintaining the regeneration system, which is called the stem cells. You are maintaining the microbiome, which is your good bacteria in the gut to digest the food, also to absorb it. Then you are also maintaining your DNA and you are maintaining your immunity. So eating the right food to maintain those systems, you will not have cancer, because those systems are checking everything in your system. They are checking all the balances to make sure that your body is in optimal form. Because nature programmed it, we have been hardwired with these 5 systems to optimize our health, so that if you are eating the right food, so there is no food that will say this is to cure cancer, this is to cure diabetes. It is to maintain those systems. It's like you maintain your car, change the oil, the filters, change the water system, everything is changed, and you maintain them, the cow will function very well. Okay.
So by maintaining certain pieces, it helps to take care of the whole system.
Absolutely. There are
So-
5 systems that must be maintained throughout life. So
Okay.
you are maintaining those systems by eating the right food, the right proportion, the right time. So sometimes people eat food very late. They eat food about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, they are going to bed. It's not healthy. So you should eat your food at least 3 hours before you go to bed. Okay? So that's how you should eat, so that the food is well digested. But people sometimes have what is called acid reflux, because when you eat, you just go and lie down. The food is right into your esophagus, or right there, and it causes burning sensations. So if you eat and the food is already, because the food can stay in the stomach for 2 to 3 hours, it now goes into the small intestine for absorption. So that's why you should eat at least 3 hours before you go to bed, so that the food is now in your small intestine for absorption. Okay. But if you are eating and it's still in your stomach, it actually comes back into your esophagus, which is not a good thing.
Okay. We know, doctor, we are about to close for today. We know that you have been working on this supplemental nutritional element for the organization you have put in place. Before we talk about what you guys offer as a product to supplement our nutrition deficit, can you talk a little bit about just like a big overview of the organization you are leading that come to supplement, to help us to cover the gap in our nutrition?
Our organization is called Kemayu Alternative Health. I formed this organization so that I have an affiliation with the supplement companies that produce the products. So I get with them to find out the type of supplement that they have. Or I make recommendations to any of my about those supplements. I also make sure that I talk to their producers, the people who are producing products, the scientists, because I want to ask specific questions about the concentration of the minerals that they are listing on the products. And that's true, and it can be verified or not. So yes, they always tell me that if I want a third-party verification, they have the certificate for that. So and what I'm looking for is the specific ingredients in those supplements that will enhance the disease condition, that will actually have a benefit. Whatever somebody is suffering from, like the diabetes, cancer, any other thing. And of course, we also practice evidence-based, because we want to know if that person is actually deficient in the minerals or vitamin that they may be lacking. For example, vitamin D3 is one of those prominent vitamins that people are deficient, because people don't spend much time in the sun. Okay, you can get vitamin D3 naturally from being in the sun. You can, and also things like magnesium. Magnesium reacts with over 600 different molecules in the body. Vitamin D3 is very important. Things like zinc is also very important. So we look for specific things in those supplements to be able to recommend to the clients that these are the things that you're lacking. First of all, they would have shown us or shown me lab results that they are deficient in these things. Okay. Then once they are deficient, then we recommend those supplements to them. So the website is called kemayuhealth.com. Okay. So if they go there, then of course they need to call me so that I can go over with whatever problems they have because we want to make sure that they are getting the right supplements. They should not just go and buy whatever is in the store and start taking. We want to make sure that they need those supplements that will help them to enhance their health. Okay. We don't treat specific disease, but we make sure that they take the supplements that is going to provide them the nutrients that they are lacking in their system, or whether be it the magnesium or the vitamin D3 or zinc or vitamin C or any of those. Okay, so that's what the organization was formed for, and to also educate people, because so many people are eating the wrong things and not following. And you know what? They are not following what nature requires for us to eat so that it can be healthy. All right, because the pharmaceutical drugs are really causing so much damage for us, and our people are dying, our loved ones, from lack of. The more knowledge about food, the better, and that was our aim, to teach people about food, and even how to plant the food, how to eat, how to store them, and so on and so forth. So our organization is there to help people that are having any health issues or questions. And it's not that it's sick for you to supplement. I personally take supplements daily. Okay, I take more than 40 different supplements because I know that I have to maintain my system. I'm 72 years old.
Wow.
And I know that I'm lacking certain things, especially when you are 40 and above. Your enzyme level goes down so fast. So you have to eat those, and you also lose muscle mass. So you have to eat specific food that will maintain the muscle mass and to enhance stomach acid so that you can generate specific enzymes in the body for digestion. Okay.
Okay. So KMIU Alternative Health educate, consult, and recommend. So the recommendation are upon the specific finding from the consultation that you have with the person. So saying this, viewer, you are welcome. We actually recommend you to contact Dr. Yunmbam. Go to kmayu.health.com. We are going to put all the detail on the description, and feel free to reach out to us here in the studio. We will connect you with Dr. Yunmbam. Whatever lab result you receive from the lab, reach out to him. Both of you will go through, and then based on that, you will receive a recommendation of natural remedy to pharmaceutical treatment that will be more efficient, because as we know, all our products from the pharmacy, if you look them carefully, they will treat, most of them have a side effects. And those side effects sometimes need other medication to handle the side effects. And it keep going. While the nature has given us, God has granted us everything we need. Dr. Yunmbam usually reference our forefather, and especially animals. So they heal themselves naturally. We can take advantage of that. That's why we are so grateful to have Dr. Yunmbam. I would like to invite you to leave a comment, a word of appreciation, acknowledgement, any question that you have in comment. Reach out to us, write to us. We will be more than happy to be, especially share this with somebody that you think will need to know this thing, will need to educate himself more. Send it to a friend, listen to it again and again, subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook page so that you will be able to stay informed, because more have been said already and more will be said in the future. Dr. Yunmbam, we are at the end of this edition of today. We will meet again to talk. Any last word you have for our viewer? What can they do to start making small and sustainable changes in their life today to improve their health?
Yes, thank you. The last word I want to encourage everybody that God has given us 120 years to be in this world. The question would be, do you want to live long? And how are you going to do that? Some of us are addicted to the food that we eat because the sugar that we consume from it has made it addictive to our taste buds. So my recommendation is that you have to, first of all, change your mind that you want to change, you want to live long, you want to live healthily. People that are doing business, you cannot do business when you are sick. And even if you have money in the billions, money cannot buy health. Yes, the money can help you to buy the right food products that will keep you healthy and that will keep you strong. So you need to make sure that you drink clean water. You need to drink, avoid processed food. Limit your carbohydrate intake and sleep at least 7 to 8 hours every night. So that, and also have a good relationship with their friends, with their children and wife, and brothers and sisters. Also, meditation is very important because when you meditate, that reduces stress, because stress is one of the major culprits of chronic health. 70% of doctor's visit is caused by stress. So you can limit stress, you limit carbohydrate intake, eat a lot of fresh vegetables and fruits, and drink green tea. Okay? Drink green tea so that it will remove a lot of the toxins in our system. All right? So that would be my advice to everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Yunmbam. It's a pleasure. Listen, share, ask questions, subscribe for more to come. See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.